Guys, BBLs have a smell. You might not want to agree, it might be different for you, but I believe BBLs had a smell. So when I say they have a smell, I think I wrote it on one of my previous videos. I had arm lipo, I had 360 lipo, and I had a BBL. So the one thing I would say was different for me, what most people don't get, is the additional arm lipo. So when I woke up from surgery, my bed was literally covered in, I don't know if I can say the word on TikTok, but it was covered in the red stuff that comes from your body. So
Yeah. Welcome to the channel. Apparently, BBLs are out here stinking, and a lot of people are talking about it. It's kind of wild to me because I have seen a lot of BBLs, and I can't say that they were smelling when I seen them. I didn't get close up on them, so maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But I will say there has been times when I seen a big booty and I just thought to myself, I bet that thing is stinking. Man, this is wild. Check it out.
now let's imagine being lying down in this liquid for a good hour or two while I've been under. Every time I'm rolling over or whatever, this liquid is coming out of my arms, as well as like other places, because when you have a BBL, you get incision holes, and after lipo, your body does what's the word? Secrete? I think your body does secrete like a liquid, like the fat, the remaining fat. I personally feel like the fat mixed with your urine that has like the antibiotic smell, your sweat, your red liquid, all makes a certain smell. And it's not the I'm trying to think of words to use without getting banned on TikTok. The nyash doesn't have a smell. If you're hygienic, come on. When I came out of surgery, you can't get in the shower regardless.
I can't lie. It looks like she may have got a BBL on her lips. Seriously. Look at that top lip. That mug looked just like a BBL.
Actually can't get in the shower, but I was like still getting like, you know, like the B-day by the toilet. I was still washing my front, washing my back. And you know what? I'm not a person that gets easily embarrassed. I was asking the nurses for help. Like I was by myself. So if they needed to like help me like wash a little bit, the nurses were there. The nurses kept calling me so strong. They was like, you're literally so strong. I woke up from surgery and I was walking within the first 3 hours by myself. But yeah, that'll be a different video. If you want to know more about that, then just comment. But again, do BBLs have a smell? For the first week, you can't wash your forehead. So just imagine the forehead covered in like red liquid, covered in sweat, covered in like the stuff that like goes into the drains. It's like a mixture of red liquid and fat. I remember when I got back to the UK, I opened my suitcase and I was like, there's that BBL smell. So I personally think, yes, BBLs have a smell.
So it's official. BBLs are out here stinking. Why are these women getting these big old BBLs and running around here with that thing stinking? That's wild to me, man.
I hope I answered the question and stayed on topic. So yeah.
I had to come.
Ladies, is it worth it to get that big old BBL and have it stinking? That's wild. Maybe these BBLs are stinking because it's just so much booty that they're just not able to get it clean thoroughly like they should. Maybe that's the problem.
Come outside and talk about this because after what I just experienced, I'm traumatized. BBL smell is 100% real. I don't care what your mama say. I don't care what your friends say. I don't even care what your doctor say. BBL smell is real, and let me tell you why. And if you're wondering what it smell like, it smell like broccoli.
Broccoli. Now that's wild. These women walking around here with broccoli smelling booties. That's crazy. She said broccoli. So after she finished getting it in with a fella, what do it smell like then? Beef and broccoli?
The broccoli that's been sitting in your pot with the top on for 2 days. We all know how that smell. Sour, funky, molded. Now it's going to be some people.
That's one smell I hate too. You eat something with broccoli the night before, you throw the rest of the broccoli in the garbage, you don't take the trash out. You walk in the house the next day, like, what in the hell is going on in here? That's terrible. I hope these women ain't out here with broccoli smelling booties. Say it ain't so.
People that say my BBL don't smell like that. I don't know where she get her information from. Take your hand and rub it back there and see if you smell the same thing that I'm smelling. Now, some BBLs have a soft, funky smell, like a musky smell, and then some BBLs have a loud smell, a smell like rotten flesh. But trust me, it's all the same smell. Now, if you're wondering how to get that funky smell up out of your skin, because, it's sucked in them pores and it's deep within that skin. Take you a cup of vinegar, 3 tablespoons of Epsom salt, run you a bath of hot, steamy water, and sit in a tub for about 30 to 45 minutes. You're going to need one of them thick rags that you get from Amazon, the hotel style rags. I've told 2 friends about that, and trust me, it works. And I know I joke a lot, but this is not a joke. This is serious. Let's get that smell out the way because, baby, I can't take it no more. If y'all...
And I bet the bigger the BBL, the worse the smell.
Gonna do it, let's just do it, right? Okay?
So this is part 2 on why I had to get my BBL surgically removed.
This lady had to get her booty took out. That thing must have been foul.
So in part 1, I was telling y'all how my sit-down ear was stinking real bad.
Oh my God, did she say her sit-down air was stinking real bad? Every time she sat down, it smelled like broccoli, y'all.
And it got to the point to where I had to carry around a bottle of air freshener or a bottle of perfume because when I would use public restrooms, it would stink so bad and the smell would linger. It was like an embarrassment. I didn't want to come out the bathroom with it smelling like that and someone else was waiting at the door.
Hell no. To the nah, nah, nah. Hell to the nah.
When I say that BBL really ruined my life, I even lost my boyfriend behind it. He was telling me the whole time, like, you're stinking real bad down there and I can't stomach it. First I'm in denial, like, no, you're hating, you're mad, I got a BBL. It was the truth.
Hell no. To the nah, nah, nah. Hell to the nah.
Got to the point to where I would be washing my laundry, weekly. Like I've been doing before I got the BBL. When I would get my laundry out of the dryer, it would still smell like that raw eating flesh.
Damn. Oh, stanky booty lady. I bet them thongs was through. One time wear for the underwear.
Hell no. To the nah, nah, nah. Hell to the nah.
Part 3 on how I got my BBL surgically removed because my sit-down one was stinking real bad.
Damn.
So I deleted part 1 because there were so many people in the comments talking shit how y'all are doing now. So I deleted part 1 and I made part 2 because there was...
That is hilarious. Her sit-down win was stinking. I mean, I never even thought about sit-down win. Damn, every time I sit down, I smell my ass. That's crazy work right there.
Some people in the comments that wanted to know more. BBL stink, do you hear me? And it's not coming from the vagina or the beehole. It's coming from the incisions that they cut to inject the fluid and the fat in your butt, okay?
Yeah, I believe her. Partly. I think some of that is coming from your wounds, but a lot of that is coming from your ass. She got a funky ass.
There's people in the comments saying, oh, you wasn't washing up right. Come on, let's be real. It's coming out of the incision. It fucking stink. I don't care what y'all say. It stink. And if it's not healing properly and your body is rejecting it, the hole will remain open and the drainage will continue to come out and stink up your linen, stink up your underwear, stink up everything, okay?
Crazy work.
Now, my BBL been removed for the past 4 years. Only had it in for about a year.
She had her BBL in for a year and she couldn't take it no more. Right back to the flat backing. It was either the smell or flat backing. She went back to flat backing.
Until it was stinking so bad I couldn't take it no more. I don't know if y'all wanted me to get on here and say BBL smell good, but they fucking stink. Stay away from them.
I know for a motherfucking fact, what these hoes saying about y'all motherfucking BBL stinking is the truth. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
So I used to work in a, nightclub, bartender, whatever. And then I used to, who knows me know, I used to manage fucking females, like industry bitches. So, yeah. So, as y'all know, other than it feeling like a sack of sand in a sandbag, that shit, if your body's rejecting it, has a weird ass motherfucking smell. So just to give you a little idea of how it smells, just think about broccoli. You ever had broccoli sitting out for like 2 days and you be like, what the fuck, like,
that broccoli smell must really be a real thing, because the other lady said the same thing. Broccoli, old broccoli booty smelling ass. That's crazy work, man. That's wild. I do not ever want to experience that, man. Ladies, stay away from them BBLs, man. Just stay natural. Go to the gym, work out, do booty pops or whatever you got to do to make that thing look the way you want it to look. But do not get the surgery, man. It does not sound like it's worth it at all.
that's the perfect way I can explain it. It smells like sitting out for 2 days broccoli.
Damn.
And it's because technically it don't be you, well, do be you, because now you can't open your ass and get in your ass and clean your ass. But it's also because your flesh is rotten, is ruined.
But this is what I'm saying. Why get a big old BBL if you can't clean it right? If you can't keep it clean properly, what's the point? That's crazy. Stay away from them BBLs, man. It is not worth it. You go spend $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 for something that stank. That's wild, man. Some of y'all paying like $10,000, going down there to Mexico somewhere and getting a BBL for $10,000. And maybe that's why them BBLs are stinking. Maybe it's the cheap BBLs that's out there stinking like that.
And then your body could be rejecting it. It's a lot of reasons why your shit stink. Bro, you can't do nothing about it but get it removed, because like if your body's rejecting it, it's going to come out. It's going to come out of any hole closest to where that needs to escape. So
Ugh, that's nasty.
BBLs really be stinking. For real.
Nasty.
I hope y'all hoes be doing y'all research before y'all be getting these BBLs.
Right.
Calling yourself trying to catch a nigga. When y'all gonna be walking around looking like you need to catch a shower.
And you gonna be running niggas away with a stanky BBL. Just only a dirty mug gonna put up with that. He gonna be hitting it like this. Trying to play it off. Trying to fight it with his nose in the air. Trying to cover his nose with his top lip.
Y'all know that lady that's on here talking about how she got her BBL removed because it stinked?
Yeah.
Let
The
me
one
tell
that
y'all
smell
something,
like
okay?
broccoli.
You know, me being in the strip club, me being a dancer, you know, you're around a lot of other girls. Some who just have horrible hygiene, and some, it be that motherfucking BBL, okay? Now, there was this girl that I used to work with or whatever, and she was so cool, bro. She was so nice. She's very pretty, cool, on the, like, if we say slim thick versus thick, she was more on the thicker side of things, right? But besides the point, beautiful girl, okay? Did good, okay? Now, the first time I had ever danced with her, I had been smelling something. Like, I was looking around or whatever. Like, you know, when you smell something, you're like, I know that ain't me.
She was looking around like, damn, girl, is that you? You smell that? What the hell?
Like, I had smelled it to the point that I went to the dressing room, right? And, like, when I worked at Allure, they used to have these showers all the way in the back where the dressing room used to be on behind the DJ booth, right? I, like, went back there and literally was like, I went to the house mom, like, hey, Miss Rosalind, it wasn't me, okay? So, like, I didn't realize, like, who it was until I actually started to become cool with this girl, because we had went on a trip together to dance out of town one time, and every time she would go in the bathroom, use the bathroom, she would, like, of course you're supposed to shut the door when you use the bathroom, but when she came out of the bathroom, she would shut the door too, and she would be like, don't go in there. So I'm always thinking the bitch blowing it up, like taking a shit, right? So there was one of the days that we were there, I'm doing my makeup in the bathroom, and she came and she was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, whatever. So me, like, I don't know, maybe I'm different, but if my homegirl doing her makeup in the bathroom, I'll come in and I gotta pee and that's it, I'll just pee. Like, not that big of a deal. And I was like, girl, go ahead. She was like, no, like, yeah. So I'm like, damn, she must got to shit again, y'all. So I come out, she pees, and she comes out fast. Not like it didn't take her shit time. It took pee time. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't long enough for her to take a shit. It was a pee type of, okay, cool. So when she came back out or whatever, she shut the door or whatever. She was like, just wait a second to go in there, whatever. But I'm doing my makeup, okay? We're on a time crunch. So I'm like, girl, just spray some air freshener or something. I got, like, you know, I go grab my perfume. I go in there, I start spraying it. But then, like, I start calculating in my head. Oh, she, like, peed, and it didn't smell like shit. Like, it smelled like ass, but not ass. Like, ass, and I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I really.
That remind me of a time I was somewhere, we was all kicking it, you know, the fellas, some women. And there was this one chick, she was a little wild. She was a live wire, you know, getting lit, sloppy drunk. She went in the bathroom, came out quick like that. Like she just took a leak real quick. And man, I went in there right after, and I swear to God, man, it smelled like she left her ass in the bathroom. I ain't gonna lie. Man, terrible experience. But people did not let that die down either, man. People talked about that forever, especially when she came back around. I mean, ladies, it's not worth it, man. People will talk about you, and they ain't gonna never let it die down. If you walking around with a stanky ass, you leave the bathroom smelling like stanky ass and cuckoo, it ain't all good, man. It's not good.
Don't. But I felt really bad because I don't really think that it was ever her personal hygiene. I really think it was her BBL. Some girls, their BBLs reject, okay? And so those incision holes that are around the BBL, right? It's like the stench can come from those. Even when they're shut, you know, as it's rejecting it, it's like it's still oozing out a smell.
That's nasty. And we gotta remember too that them BBLs are so big, most likely it's some rolled up tissue and some butt crumbs in that crack of that BBL.
Holes closed and everything healed up. It was still like ooze out like a smell, which I ended up looking this up because when this girl gave the story on how she got her BBL removed, I was like, oh, maybe I can speak on it or whatever because I remember being around somebody like this. But yeah. When y'all be wanting to do these surgeries and stuff, y'all need to do all y'all's research, okay? Because if your skin declines to anything, you don't know what could happen after that. But I will tell you, you know, there are some girls, I'm not saying no names, who got a little BBL smell. Okay.
I know some girls, I ain't gonna say no names either, and they ain't even got no BBL, and they got BBL smell. Or at least they'll leave a BBL smell in that bathroom.
Okay. And I think that I don't know how you would recover that, because all the perfume, all the Febreze, all the motherfucking body oils in the world do not cover it up. And I could tell you, like with this girl, when we was out in public, like the more I was around her, it was a scent. It was like a part of her body odor. You know how we all have like our individual like scents and stuff. Like it was a part of her body odor, and she would wear perfume and everything, and I could still like smell it, to the point where I'm not gonna hold you, I stopped being cool with the girl, because in the dancer world you are who you hang out with. And if I'm cool with her and she want to dance with me, we in a bag. Now the niggas looking around like, which one of you? It was never me. You know.
Hilarious. Another thing I notice about some women, they'll go in the bathroom, handle their business. I mean, blow it up. Chili bombs and all that. Just blow it up. And come out of the bathroom without even washing their hands, and just go right back to doing whatever they was doing before they went in there and tore that bathroom up. Now that's nasty, especially for a lady. When I see that, I can never look at that lady the same. I swear. And I see it all the time. Crazy work, man.
And I didn't want to be around that. So I like made it to where like I didn't want to dance next to her. She was such a cool ass bitch. She really was. And like, granted, like when I cut her off, she never knows why I cut her off, but when I cut her off, she started talking shit about me anyways after the fact. But that was the reason I cut her off, because it really was a cold turkey situation, just because like I couldn't be surrounded. And then bitches ain't gonna tell you, they ain't gonna let you tell them that they stink on some friend shit. Right. Like, hey boo, I don't know what it is, but you know, like dancers, they not gonna take it the way you think. So right. I never say.
That's facts for sure. You cannot tell these women, like, damn, that thing stinking, man. You smell that? I think it's coming from you. Boy, they will get offended. It's going to definitely be a fight, because they're going to feel hella disrespected by you making that gesture. So you can't even really mention it without an issue occurring. That's wild, man. Ladies, you need to take this criticism the right way. Don't get offended. Just go handle it.
I just stopped being cool with the girl, and it would come to a point where we would be at work together, and she'd walk up like, hey G, da da, and I would be like, hey, what's up? And I'd be like, oh, hold on 1 second. Like I would find any way to get from around her, because I didn't want her to think that she could stand around me and we work together. You know? But yeah, some girls do have BBL smells, but it's because their bodies rejected, I think it's either their incisions or the BBL procedure, like, because you know you're harvesting fat, then they're putting it back in. It could be the needle that gave you an infection that they used to, you know, put it back in. It could be anything, but that's why some girls be stinking. And if you are one of the stinky BBL girls, go to the doctor. Because perfume ain't gonna cover that up. You might have to really get a whole new BBL or something. Like get everything removed, let them clean out the incisions and everything. They might just be able to open the incisions, go an inch or two deep and clean out whatever. But like, it's not just a like, oh, I can cover it up. No, it becomes a part of their body odor. For real.
Damn.
For real. I wish people spoke more on like the side effects of BBL. You know, yeah, it could be great, or it could be hard as a rock. Yeah, it could be soft, or it could reject and you have this smell for the rest of your life, right?
It ain't worth it.
I need my BBL bitches to come to the front. Like, I know, like, granted, even the girl that came on here and was like, oh yeah, I removed my BBL. First of all, I love her motherfucking accent. I could listen to her talk just because her voice is so funny. But even with her being brave enough to come on here and say, hey, I had to get this removed because it really fucked up my life. I really had this smell. There's not a lot of girls who are going to do that, especially now, you know. But I commend her on being brave enough to come up on here and tell her story. And, you know, for me, I'm going to bring light to it, because I know some bitches that.
Me too. And like I said, they don't even got BBLs, and they got that BBL butt funk. Right.
But yeah, and if the girl who, you know, knows that this is about her sees this, it ain't no pressure, okay? I know I probably should, like, granted, we wasn't friends like that, you know, like, we was cool, but we wasn't friends where I was like, I could have been like, girl, hey, it's something going on. Like, how I'm gonna clock your pussy smell? I can't clock your pussy smell. Like, no, you know, but yeah, that's why I stopped being cool with you. And then you started hanging out with bitches and talking shit about me and all this weird shit. So I guess it worked out in a favor. But I'm sure those same bitches that you went and was talking shit about me about, because I don't see you around them anymore, it was probably because of the BBL smell. Anyways, bye all.
Yeah, those BBLs be stinking. So you guys may have seen this online that BBL smells is trending. And there are a lot of reasons for that smell, but I think that I will tell you guys a story about a girl that I dated, and I took her out, and she had a BBL. Her body looked crazy good. Like, she had it done right. Her whole body looked amazing. So we linked up, and we went out, had a really good time. We went to a Lakers game and then went to a spot by LA Live and had some dinner. Had a really good time. And so she was like, so what you trying to do? I was like, yeah, let's go back to my place and relax, have a nightcap and see where it takes us. So we drive back to my spot. And so light the candles, get the music going, open up a bottle of champagne, and we sitting there and we're having a nice vibe. And, you know, we started getting into it and everything, and clothes started to come off. And she wanted to give me a little show. So she was like, just stand right there. And so, like, she took off everything very seductively and got on my bed and started twerking that thing, right? And I was like, what the hell? Because at this point, she got nothing on. And I smelled this smell, and it hits my nose. The shit was like a assault of my nose.
And I bet he still went to work. Like I said, he just covered his nose up with his top lip, put his head to the sky, got busy, tried to ignore it.
I'm like, what the hell? And so I'm like, baby, not to be rude, but I know we had a long day. You're not smelling that fresh down there. I think you need to get into the shower and go ahead and freshen up. And she looked at me so embarrassed. I did it as gently as I could, but what I realized is if someone has had a normal size behind for all of their life, and then they switch up, and now they got this big BBL, they have to reach back there and really clean. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not used to doing that, they might not know that, hey, you sweat differently. Everything is different when you add that much more meat back there. That thing can't breathe as good. And so she ended up getting in the shower and everything. I had everything that she needed. And I ended up clapping them cheeks.
Yeah, I knew he ended up clapping them cheeks. But I'm gonna have to agree with him, man. What he just said makes sense. When you add that much more butt, and you never had that much for all these years, maybe it is a little different when you're washing back there, and maybe it's just you're not getting it as thorough as you should because you're not used to having all that ass back there. That could be it. That makes sense, Playboy. And like I said, I knew he still clapped. And he probably still smelt something too, but he ain't care.
And it was much better. But some people, the smell.
He said it was better, but he didn't say the smell was all the way gone.
I think her smell was coming from just not being able to get back there and clean properly. But some people's smell is coming from what the excretions and what's coming out with the fat that they've actually put in to their bodies. So, you know, BBLs for me is just for fun. Those women are for fun. Like, you can't take women with BBLs, in my opinion, to parent-teacher conferences.
Right.
They big old ass knocking over the little kids' crayons and stuff as they try to walk through the parent-teachers conferences in them small-ass classrooms. That's not...
Yeah. Them a kid's classroom is not a natural habitat for a big old BBL, man. Them BBLs don't belong nowhere but in nightclubs, videos, and things like that, man. On vacation, on the beach, in a resort somewhere. On stage, sliding down the pole or something like that. That's about it.
Not really for me. That's for fun. That's for, weekend fun. Wifey material is just regular, natural women that you can build a family with and give a great life to. But that's one of my stories on BBLs. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments.
BBL.
I think that's factual as well, because I mean, how many men are really serious about these women with BBLs? Pretty much all a man wants to do with a woman like that is just fulfill the fantasies that he has, to get out them fetishes that he has, But as far as wifing her up and being able to take her here and there to family events and all that, most guys ain't trying to deal with that, Playboy had a point.
Smell? Yep, it's real. So we've divided this up into early and late. So basically early is within the first week, late is beyond the first week. So in the beginning, everyone is going to smell a couple things. Number one, general anesthesia smells. It gives off a sort of a scent when you breathe off anesthesia. That is a real smell. You will smell that. Number two, post-op fluid. You will leak fluid after liposuction. It has an irony smell. That is from any type of liposuction, not specific to BBLs, but you will smell that. That is real. That's a normal smell. That goes away as the post-op fluid stops, which is usually 24, 48 hours. Number three, the compression garment itself can start to smell because as it builds up that post-op fluid, it can get an irony scent like that fluid. It just needs to be washed. It should never smell foul, fishy. Some people describe it as a sweet sick smell. If you're smelling any of those things, that means an infection and you need to talk to your doc immediately. Now, what about beyond a week? What does that mean? Well, if you're smelling smells beyond a week, that is not from the BBL. Most commonly, that's from your compression garment. It has
He said if that thing smelling, you getting them smells after a week of surgery, it's not the BBL. It's just plain old your ass. You got rolled up tissue and butt crumbs and things like that in your butt crack, and you need to go in there and clean it. Wash. Like old girl said, take your hand and slide it up and down that crack like a credit card in a credit card reader.
built up those irony smells and it just hasn't been washed enough. So either wash more frequently the garment or get another garment to alternate between. You yourself may just need to shower more after the BBL. And sometimes we do because our metabolism's a little different. We're healing, etc.
Right. If anything, you just need to go shower and wash your backside real good. Take the bar soap and wrap it up in a towel and just
we need to shower more. And number three, if we've made a really big butt through a BBL, which is possible, sometimes just hygiene wiping is harder. Get yourself some sanitary wipes and that will help clean things.
As someone who literally works in plastic surgery post-op care, I be around a lot of BBLs. If your BBL is stinking a year into the process, you might have some, I don't think that's your butt. I think it's a wound. It could be your cooch. I don't think it's the BBL itself. It might be a wound or one of the holes. To which I would say go to your nearest hospital immediately because it's probably rotting for whatever reason.
Damn.
After a BBL, though, I will say the smells are not that pleasant for a multitude of reasons that I'll list out for you. First of all, when you get liposuction, they stick that needle in there. That looked like I was doing something else just now.
It did. It really did.
And when they're sucking that fat out of you, your skin is disconnected from the muscle. And the reason it's important that you get your massages, lymphatic massages, 6 months, you really should get them for at least 6 months after your surgery, is because your skin needs to heal and heal back onto the muscle, and you want it to heal flat and not have that like bumpy look that, you know, on someone's stomach. We all know the look I'm talking about.
Right,
but
right.
While it's healing, fluid swells up because you swell. So with the lymphatic drainage for the first couple of days, your holes will still be open. There'll be some doctors choose to drain with tubes. Because if that tube gets yanked, or that shit can hurt, just let it drain out. But it's not gonna smell good because it's literally pus and blood and shit from your body. It's disgusting. Another reason it stinks is because you're in a faja. You're compressed because we don't want you to swell, right? Because it's healing, and what your body's gonna do if it's not compressed. If it's not compressed, it will expand. You're supposed to stay in that faja for days. Right? So what happens is you got all that pus and bullshit coming out that already doesn't smell great. You're in the same faja 4 days, a lot of times. You're sweating and you have your natural must, and you have a lot of smells mixing together. As someone who has done lymphatic massages, I can tell y'all, it doesn't smell great. The girls don't smell great fresh off the table. It's really nothing you can do. Oh, and I forgot this part.
Right. And I wouldn't expect somebody to smell that good after having major surgery like that. But it's after that. You should not be walking around after that smelling. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And you may have a serious issue going on if that's going on. That's crazy. So, ladies, if you're walking around here smelling, go get looked at by the doctor. Get that looked at professionally. Don't just try to play it off like it ain't going on. Because everybody around you knows. And everybody around you is going to be talking about how your ass stink behind your back.
You still have to shit, right? You still have to shit. You still have to shit. And your butt is kind of hard, still swollen from all that freshly injected fat. And it's been sitting in a faja. And you now have, you're a part of the club now. You have 17 miles of ass crack. And you cannot necessarily clean yourself as good as you be used to. Because you're not like taking full on showers.
That makes sense. You got to get used to all that crack. That makes sense. You get used to all that crack, maybe you can clean it better. And that should get rid of the smell, hopefully. But everything that she's saying is making sense to me.
You're not doing that 48 hours post-op. Oh, and I forgot this. You still have to pee. Usually, the girls have the urinals or like the cups that they pee in, and you might get a little driblet. You can't fully squat and pee like Pocahontas. I'm sorry if that wasn't politically correct. That's what they called it at Girl Scout camp, which might have been problematic to begin with.
Yeah.
You just can't squat and pee in that. Kind of have to be bent and hunched over. Again, this faja hasn't been cleaned, so it has doo-doo niblets, driblets of pee.
Doo-doo niblets. That's a first. I never heard that before. Doo-doo niblets is crazy.
Pus coming out of you, and you're in that faja for like 3 days.
Doo-doo
4 days.
niblets.
They take it off and put it right back on. That's what y'all are smelling. No, that smells horrible. Yes. But if you're still smelling like that 6 months post-op, you need to go to the emergency room.
I'm no plastic surgeon, but from what I've gathered, necrosis is tissue death, and it's what causes that unpleasant smell after someone gets a BBL. However, not everyone that gets a BBL will have necrosis, and it is a very rare and serious condition that is avoidable with a good surgeon, proper technique, and good post-op care. So let's break it down. When tissue dies, it begins to decompose, and this may lead to the growth of bacteria. That bacteria can produce a rotting or decaying smell, and that's usually a warning sign of an infection or a serious complication. So now let's talk about how this can actually happen. So fat that's improperly injected can block blood vessels, and that can lead to fat embolism or necrosis. And when you have necrotic tissue, it can turn black, it can harden, and it can even have pus coming out of it, that fluid that then has that foul smelling odor. At this point, it is a medical emergency, and if even left untreated, it can lead to sepsis. But even with proper technique and a qualified board certified experienced surgeon, you can still experience necrosis for several reasons. One, if you have any underlying health conditions like diabetes. Two, if you don't take care of yourself post-op. And three, if you smoke. And then four, if you just have poor blood supply. So those are some of the things that can cause it. But again, it is very rare. And so no, not everyone that has a BBL, from my understanding, has this smell coming out. So this is just to clarify.
Sure,
but if there's any plastic surgeons out here that want to do even more clarification, I'm down to do a video about it where I interview you, because who knows?
Okay, so I'm just here to say that I keep watching videos saying BBLs stink. Do not get BBLs. A lady said she has to take air freshener and perfume so nobody can smell her if she's in a bathroom stall when she comes out.
I could tell her BBL been stinking because she just got right on the defense. And she is about to explain why and why not her BBL is smelling, which I believe hers is. She's too defensive. That's the first flag right there.
I seen a man saying that the trail behind them stinks. Like, I don't know what the fuck these funky people are doing wrong, but like, I do not stink. I do not have a smell, and I'm only 2 weeks post-op.
I bet that whole car smelling like BBL right now. She knows she lying. That big ass bun on her head. Got the whole car smelling like BBL.
Like, no. Now, at the very first day or two, I thought I had a smell, but it was more like it was like a weird smell. I think that's from my incisions. But like, as long as you keep clean, wash your ass, keep your incisions clean, don't get infected, and like the fat's not rejecting or whatever, like, you should not have a smell. You should not have a fucking smell. Now, they told me I couldn't shower for 22 days. Maybe people's taking that advice, because I've been in the shower since day one. Now, I'm not going to wash. Flat out, I don't care. I don't have no big holes that I can't get wet. Like, no. Like, I'm showering. Shower. That's all you need to do.
Let me tell you the 3 biggest things that I learned since having BBL surgery. The first biggest thing is that this shit is emotional as hell. If you don't have your mind right, you're going to struggle the entire time. The entire time. And I'm talking about from day pre-1 all the way to the time that it's over. Probably to at least month 6. You're going to struggle. It's so important to make sure that you go in with positive thoughts, that you have a good support system. And if you don't have a good support system, you get the hell away from negative people. That you also want to make sure that you're giving back to your body. You're not doing the same old things, and you are really adopting a new schedule, a new foundation to keep up with the maintenance of your new body. Number 2, the second biggest thing that I learned is that social media is a bunch of damn lies, boo. A bunch. Social media versus reality, you're not going to really get the full grasp of things. People tend to post the beautier side of it. They kind of, let me tell you this. They want to show you day 5. They don't want to show you day 1.
Facts. Because that's all I ever seen when it came to BBLs is the good side of it. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I was not aware that these smelly BBLs was a thing. Now, like I said as well, I have seen some big butts. And in my head, I thought, I bet you that ass stank. But I haven't actually smelled a BBL smelling bad. So this is news to me, man.
Day one is a beast. I ain't seen too many day ones since I.
And that's exactly what people show us. They only show us the good parts. They don't show us the ugly side, the wounds and the leakage and the smells. But the smells, I mean, they can't really hide that, I guess. So if it's stinking, people gonna know.
Started. I done seen some day 5s and maybe some day 12s, but I haven't seen a whole lot of day 1s. So just keep that in mind because that was rough for me. Number 3. The third thing that I learned that is absolutely one of the most silliest things I think I have ever heard in my life that has been so popular with all this Cardi B drama is that there is a BBL smell.
Apparently.
And there ain't no such thing, boo. If your ass stank before you got a BBL, your ass gonna stink after. That's just how that go.
Facts.
Now, is it true that there is some drainage? Of course there is, but there's probably only drainage for like the first 2 days after your surgery. And does it have a smell? Yeah, all drainage will have some type of smell, but that's not from your BBL or your ass. That's actually coming from the incision holes that are in your body, okay? And those can be in your arms, those can be in your back. That just depends on where you got your liposuction done at. Has totally nothing to do with your butt crack. So let's jump back to that ass.
I'm sure it does have something to do with the ass crack a lot of the times. Now, I'm not saying that this young lady is wrong. I'm sure a lot of what she said is right. But where she is wrong in my eyes is where she says it's not your butt crack. I beg to differ. I believe that a lot of those smells are the butt crack. Partly because the butt is so big now. And you got 7 miles of butt crack now. So in between that butt crack, there is trapped, rolled up balls of tissue from when you wiped, along with butt crumbs, or what old girl call it, butt nuggets, or whatever. That's what's going on.
Yes, though. Here's what I will say. You do have a much larger ass now. So with that said, if you didn't know how to wash your ass before, squat down a little bit, spread them cheeks, and put some soap and some water in between there. And use a damn towel. Because that's what's going to help motivate you the most to get you a clean ass. If you're struggling with that. Anyway, those are the 3 biggest things that I learned since getting my surgery. I hope this helps.
I got a BBL from a surgeon.
And also, you might want to get one of them butt washing things installed on your toilet. What they call it, a boudier or something like that. You know, the thing that shoot the water up your butt. You know, supposedly you don't have to use toilet paper. You can just wash your butt with the water out of that thing. Sprays your butt right off. I don't like that. I never used one, but apparently some people believe that works. Maybe that's what women with BBL needs. You know, spray that butt off when you're done. Don't try to wipe because you might, excuse me, y'all. Don't try to wipe because when you wipe, you're leaving rolled up balls of tissue in there. You might be smearing and you're leaving butt crumbs. So invest in one of them boudier things. You know, that probably will help you out a lot as well.
Who was doing malpractice and got exposed on the news for ruining people's lives. Let's talk about it. So I got my BBL back in 2021 in Sydney. For a reference, very much looking different, but this was me all bandaged up, full body, literally a few hours after surgery. Obviously I can't say names because I did sign and I don't know where he is now, and honestly not worth the risk, but it was a famous surgeon in Sydney and he was a TikTok BBL surgeon in Sydney, so where I'm from, and I'm very lucky that I didn't get botched, but at the same time he did a very shit job. He did a really shit job, and I got the full body lipo. I got neck lipo, my arms lipo, my upper back lipo, my lower back lipo, my hips and my flanks, and all put into my bum and my hips. Yeah. Obvious now, a few years later, I've lost a lot of weight, and what you're seeing now, I think I still have a very feminine shape from the BBL. Obviously, I don't have much left.
You ain't got none left. Ain't no more BBL back there. What the?
But what I will say is that really did give me shape, but you would never ever know that I had a BBL. I look very, very natural. If anything, like I've got nothing, right? And at the time, he did have a lot of stuff to work with. And I remember it was like such a bad experience. I woke up after the anesthesia, like late at night, at 9 p.m., crying. I was shaking. I was like literally shaking, and it's not from the anesthesia. I literally have had that so many times. I woke up, I felt like in danger. I felt in danger. And before I went into surgery, he literally came into my room and he was like, oh, I don't think we can do your surgery because we don't have the fat transfer tools and stuff. We'll go have a look. I remember he like took a video of me and him for TikTok, and I was like looking at him like, I don't want to be in a TikTok. Like, this is like my privacy, and thank God he didn't, because I'm very vulnerable and I didn't like my body, and it's the worst. I remember when I was out of surgery, he said to me, oh, you can wait a few days before coming to see me. And then the next day he was like, oh, you have to come see me in the morning right now. You have to come see me. And I said, oh, but you said I can wait a few days. And then he was like, no, you need to see me right now. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji. I remember just feeling so unsafe. I was so petrified to see him, my surgeon, going up to the office, because around that time when he did my surgery and I got out of surgery, I was one of his last patients because he was getting exposed on the news for literally ruining people's bodies, and I did not know anything about this, and I was literally just hearing about it after my surgery and like having to go see him as he was planning to leave and like quit his job and like run away. So when I would go out into the office to see him, it was, I don't know, I just felt so like, you know, the nurse that took care of me, like she helped me, but I just felt so petrified, and they would like see me the following dates. But after like seeing me 3 times or probably 3 times or whatever it was, I did not hear from them again. Not once. You know, like as a trans woman, I just wanted some more shape to my body, some hips, and like.
What the hell? She just said all that to say as a trans woman. So this actually used to be a man and he went and got a BBL. Oh man, the trickery and deceit. And that's why I always told my homies and young homies and things like that, man, pay attention. When you meet these women out here, pay attention to 2 things. 2 things will let you know if you should mess around with her. Pay attention to that throat. Check that throat out. And not like that. I mean, take a look at the throat. Look for that Adam's apple, man. And check out them hands. If the hands are big, look like she can grip a wrench or a pliers real good, stay away, man. Ain't no woman supposed to have no big old Adam's apple and no big old strong hands, man. Pay attention to these things, because this lady right here, or dude, is trickery and deceit. This is a man that had BBLs, got breasts and everything. This is wild, man. Be safe out there, fellas. Pay attention, man. Be aware for the trickery.
A nice bum, you know, especially because I'm a content creator and stuff. They did give me shape at that time because I did have a bigger belly, but I feel like they just shaped my waist and barely gave me a fat transfer to my hips, my bum, because like I literally, even after surgery, I don't know, like, didn't really do much with I did have a lot to work with, and the amount was a lot of money. It was like 30,000, you know, and you know, it's not crazy amount, I guess, for a BBL. Like, it can cost more than that, but I don't know. I regret it, and I don't.
30,000 is a lot, especially to pay for some ass. But if you want it done right, you should pay top dollar. Because this is a dangerous procedure, man. Y'all really putting y'all life at risk getting these procedures. You know, you could die on that table, or you could die from these infections that's making your BBL smell. So don't go try to get the cheap one down there in Mexico somewhere. Go ahead and spend that 30, 40, 50,000, man. Get you a certified official surgeon to do it and make sure it's done right, man. Don't try to take no shortcuts on nothing like this.
Like, I wish I went to someone else, but at the same time, you know, he did slay my neck liposuction in my arms and stuff, but I don't know. Very scary. If you know, you know. You can probably just Google like Sydney exposed BBL surgeon or something,
Very
you know. But
spooky.
I was very, very scared of him. He was known, like, I was very, very scared. The vibe that he had was very unwelcoming after you like paid and stuff. Very, very unwelcoming.
Getting a BBL ruined my life. So I was a teenager in the 2010s when Instagram was new and like the it girls were Instagram models and all these girls started getting BBLs. The bigger your ass was, the more successful you were gonna be. I saw Kylie Jenner do it and I was like, oh my god, I need that. Me, who's already made the mistakes, don't touch yourself.
I actually regret getting my BBL sometimes.
Why?
I got a BBL back in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic.
Okay.
And the reason why I say I hate it sometimes is because the way that it's shaped. The way that it's shaped is a little, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, like, the body still be a little T a little bit, but in certain stuff, it's giving real boxy.
That's funny. Hilarious. Now, I will say I have seen a lot of box booties in my life. I see them all the time. But for you to get surgery, get you a BBL, and it still look like a box, that's crazy work. And that's why I believe you women should not even get this surgery, man. Just stay natural. However God blessed you to be, deal with it, man. You know? And I know she had got to be salty to spend the money, whatever she spent on it. I'm sure she spent some good change on her surgery. And she still got a box booty. Crazy work.
And I don't know. Like, I guess this is for, like, most people anyways. Like, it ain't even just people with BBLs. Like, if you just...
Right. Because like I said, I see a lot of women with box booties, and it ain't a BBL. That booty is just boxed up.
Have a certain shape, certain things you're just not gonna look good in, you know? And then, like, my expectation, like, I don't know exactly what I expected myself to look like. Like, I wasn't even shaped like what I thought I was gonna look like.
Right. You ain't expected to have surgery and end up with a box.
Not only that, but like the weight gain. Like when you get your body done and you realize that like you really you start doing certain things, thinking, drinking and eating certain things that you feel like you couldn't have done before because your body already where you needed to be. But it catches up with you, and it catches up with you fast. After a year, like, I was over 200 pounds. No, I'm dragging it. I wasn't 200 pounds. I was probably like 185, but that's close enough to me. I don't know. I feel like I can get more into detail, but those are just some of the reasons.
So apparently, BBL smells is a thing. It's terrible, man. I hope these ladies get that all figured out. You know, you can't be walking around here with no stinking asses, y'all. And I feel sorry for the last shorty. Says she got a BBL and her booty is still boxed up. That's crazy work right there, man. It's actually hilarious. Let me know what y'all think down in them comments, man. It's Big Lamar, not the little one. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel, man. I'm gone.